Dr. Sean is all the way live. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on now. Dr. Sean. Yeah, yeah. Dr. Sean is always live. Come hang with the tribe. Good vibes. Yeah, we rise every time. Positive energy. Grow every day. We make a way. Yeah, we make a way. That's right. Say it again. Say it again. From the hood to the hooded, we standing true, telling our story. Yeah, this is proof. History talking, wisdom revived. This ain't just a lie, this is life. Yes, Lord, I feel that. Talk to him. All the way live. All the way live. Hang with the tribe. Hang with the tribe. Hood to hoodie. Hood to hood. We survive. We survive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the way live. Hang with the tribe. Hood to hoodie. We survive. We survive. Always live. Shine. We rise. Try. Yeah. Keep it going, don't stop.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Yeah.
What up, what up? Yeah.
Oh, I need you back. Yeah. Yeah. I need you back. I need you back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know we on that. Yeah, I need you back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know we all glass. Pyramids standing tall, yeah, facts. Turtle Island strong, yeah, facts. Say it loud, say it back. The Niji back. History live, try to erase us. Pages rip, but they can never debate us. Cause when we go back in them records, we pulling receipts out the bruh. Yeah, receipt after receipt, don't blink. Copper tone of ink, don't think. Melanin glisten the sand every day. Turtle Island moves when we making a play. They don't feel pain till it's them. They don't cry tears till it's them. But when it was us for all those years, they was eating off us, feeding off us cheers. Building empires off stolen breath. Smiling while we start to death. But the truth don't drown and come back fast. That's why the past keep hunting their ass.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Hood to Hood podcast with your host, Dr. Chiefess Sunflower. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today and in good spirits. So today we are talking about, saying goodbye to 30s. A lot of us are at different ages, different stages in this hood to hooded journey, but we all I don't know, we all will get here, but it is a privilege to get to nearly 40. I still got a couple days left, and yeah, I actually that's why I say it's a privilege to get to this age because my mom only made it to her early 20s before she was called, away from this earth. So I'm excited to make it to this level, I guess. And I just want to remember this saying about a 39. So, what are we talking about today? First of all, if you're here or you're watching this on the replay, you the bomb, and I thank you because you're awesome. Period. You're awesome. Um, it's Pisces season, and you know how we Pisces do. We can be a little bit extra, but don't be a hater, cause you know whatever. But it's Pisces season, and I don't know. The Pisces in me is Pisceing. How does it feel to leave 39 behind? Because I'm not there yet. And what do I want to, um, what tips do I have to gracing your 30s, to living your best like you can in your 30s? Just all the lessons I've learned over 4 decades of life leaves me slightly wise, but I know that I have 99% more wisdom to get, because wisdom isn't something that just stops. It keeps going. It's gonna keep growing. And that's what I'm trying to do as we head into the next season. But let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's backtrack a little bit. Um 39, I mean, yeah, 30s was pretty, it was real. These past 10 years have been real as fuck. You know, I grew a lot in these past 10 years. A lot has changed. I made a lot of moves, and for some reason, I still feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I don't know who else get to 40 and feel like, damn, I'm still not where I feel like I want to be. I should say, maybe not supposed to be, but where I want to be in life. When it comes to career, when it comes to finances, when it comes to self-care, when it comes to health, when it comes to everything for real. Like, do you ever really stop growing in life? Do people just turn a certain age and be like, you know what, I'm done growing and I'm going to stay stuck here because where I'm at is the bomb? Says no damn body. Who's saying that out there? If you saying that, let me know. If you like, you know what, I reached 50 and I'm good where I'm at right now. I'm just going to stop growing right here. Yeah, they do that. I know they do that, but see, I can't do that. Not around here, partner. Yeah, they do that. I know that, but see, not around here. Not around here, partner. Not around here, partner. Not around here. Not around here, partner. You know what I mean? So when you get to a certain age, you're never supposed to stop growing. Like, for me, it's a life. That's why dentistry, and to be a dentist, you really need to be a lifelong learner. Like, the learning kind of is for the rest of your life. So luckily I'm in a profession where I must grow professionally in my career for the rest of my life. But at the same time, when it comes to other areas, I feel like my 30s, I thought I was going to be killing this shit. That's what I thought, y'all. I thought I was going to be killing this shit. Good afternoon, la. I thought 39. How y'all feeling? Tap those hearts and let me know you feeling good, feeling great. We just talking about some life stuff right now. I'm getting ready to be 40 years old. I'm leaving the 30s behind. And I want to give, and this is being recorded on YouTube for the replay viewers, and I want to just, each day, just remember before I get to 40. So I can remember the mistakes I made, the things that I need to change, the things that I need to pivot in. And most people probably don't think about this when they turn 40. I don't know. This is what they call a midlife crisis. Is this midlife? I don't know, y'all. It's just like one day I woke up and I was like, damn, I was just 20 years old like yesterday. And now I'm not. Now I'm like auntie. Like literally auntie, for real life auntie. Okay? Real life auntie. But the biggest thing I could say is that from the age of 30, I started off my 30s really, really crazy. I started off my 30s sick as a dog, under the effects of a endometriosis drug, which was a chemo drug, and it just had me like feeling like my life was really over when I turned 30. I wasn't myself. I felt like my career was doomed. I felt like all the years I put in to become a dentist was doomed, because I graduated from dental school at 30 years old, right? And I got sick at the same damn time. Actually, I had this whole procedure the month that I turned 30. Like the month before I turned 30, I had an emergency surgery my last year in dental school. And then, no, the month before I turned 30, I had the procedure. And then my birthday, in my 30th birthday, I was sick. I was recovering from a surgery, you know. And then, that's how my 30s began. I was trying to get into a residency, living in Nashville. Hold on, y'all. I was trying to get into a residency, living in Nashville. I'm just thinking, you're still young. I know I'm still young, but, I feel like 4 decades has passed. I'm still young, but I'm not that young, But I'm still young. They say 40 is the new 20. But guess what? If you don't take care of yourself, the 20 can be the new 80. The 30 can be the new 70. They always talk about that other reverse way, like, hey, 40 is the new 20. They be like, 50 still the 30. But what about the people who 30 and they feel like they 60? Because they don't take care of themselves. What about the people who 40 and feel like they 80 because they don't take care of themselves? They don't ever talk about those people. The people who 60 but they feel 90 because they didn't take care of themselves. When they got to this point, they say, you know what? I'm going to keep fucking up. I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to get stuck in my ways because I got plenty time. And what I realized, and I think this is something that I realized from a different perspective, like when I was a young girl, my teenage years, and this is why I'm having this reflection moment, because I feel like it can help somebody in their teenage years or in their 20s or in their 30s, and they just like, you know what, I got plenty time. Let me tell you something. You're going to wake up and you're going to be 40. You're like, girl, that's up. No, you're going to wake up and be 40. So don't let life just like pass you by. If you don't get nothing else from this, that's basically the message. But when I was younger, preparing to leave high school, not having my parents around, not having the guidance, I kind of had this like roadmap that was all over the damn place. I could do anything I wanted to do. I could drop out if I wanted to. I could go and, not go to school if I wanted to. But something in me at this point, when I was a teenager, was like, you know what? I see all of these older people around me. A lot of them have jobs that don't lead to a career where they can be, not stressing every day. I saw this as a teenager, so I made a dedication. I'm going to go and do something that is going to benefit my future. This is how I got into the dental profession, because I did not want to get to this age and have nothing to fall back on or have not accomplished shit. I didn't want to get to this age and be like, I spent 20 years just working, or I just spent 20 years just chilling out, or I spent 20 years just fucking damaging my body, or whatever the hell people do when they just waste time. Can we be real or not? Because somebody need to hear this. Somebody's a teenager right now, because I talk to a lot of teenagers. I be trying to tell them, but they don't listen. And I get why you don't listen. Oh, my light's dying. It's okay. We still gonna keep rocking. All my dang on lights dead. But y'all can still see me though. You can still hear me. So I was like, I talk to a lot of teenagers and I try to tell them, hey, don't get stuck on this dead-end job. Even if you stay 3-4 years, you're wasting your time. Go get you a trade. Go do something where you got to put your head in a book for a year, 2, 6 months, something. But do not just go jump into the workforce and feel like the workforce going to take care of you. Because by the time you get this age where I am, you're going to look back and be like, damn, the workforce didn't take care of me. They didn't give me no benefits. They're not going to take care of you. I watched so many videos on YouTube of 80-year-olds still going to work. 90-year-old, well, maybe not 90. I think it was a 90-year-old hairdresser, but she wanted to do that because she had a trade and she loved it. She was 92. I ain't talking about her. I'm talking about the people who get to the point where they're not taking care of themselves. They just let everything go. They just stuck in the colonized routine. We already know about that. We're not talking about colonization today, because I'm trying to stay away from that right now, because colonization be pissing me off, and it's a lot going on that I could be pissed off about, but I feel like I always touch on that side of the subject. So this time, I'm talking to the youth. I'm talking to the people in their 20s, people in their 30s, to let you know, you don't got time to damn waste. You don't got time to waste, right? And as a teenager, I said, damn, I don't have a lot of time to waste. I knew that I was young then. Like, I feel like, oh, I'm young now. We can keep saying, oh, I'm so young, but I'm really 40. Like, I've really been here for 40 years, 4 decades. I need to be learned something, grew somewhere, did something like mentally. It don't even have to be financially. It could be mentally. Some people get to the 40s and they get stuck in their damn ways. You can't tell them nothing. They don't grow. They don't learn. They feel like they know everything, and they don't even realize you can never know everything. You can always learn. You always want to be a sponge. And that is the difference between me in my early 20s and things like that and other people, is that I always had a passion to learn and to be better and to just try to strive and achieve and have goals. And everybody don't have goals. This isn't a conversation for everybody. This isn't a conversation for the people who don't care. They just go through life and don't care. And a lot of young kids, we see the studies coming out, kids going to college and they can't read. How you get to college? Because the school is not setting us up for success. You must set yourself up for success. You must set your own mind up to achieve more and have more, because if you waiting on life to do it, life gonna drag you down. Life gonna cause you to be depressed, miserable, give up, tired, just want to go home. You stuck working a 9 to 5. You forgot about your dreams. It is no damn excuse. I know you probably feel like you got an excuse, but I'm gonna get into why you don't have an excuse in a moment. Now, back to being this teenager in high school, realizing my whole life was ahead of me. The thing that made me pivot and say, damn, I need to do something different, was looking around at the adults that was around me. I'm like, well, damn, every adult, not every adult, most of the adults, y'all not focused, and y'all around here just like not living your best life. This was a lot of adults, but I did have people in my family who had businesses and doing things, but I didn't have any doctors to, apps using your microphone. I didn't have any doctors in my family to look up to say, you know what, that's what I wanted to be. All I had was this vision my mom told me before she passed. You're going to be a doctor, and I just carried that with me. But even as a teenager, that vision to be a doctor was like down here, because I didn't have the support that I needed, but I didn't want to have no excuses. In high school, I had a job. 16, 17, 18, a job for the rest of my life, really. But then I got out and I said, you know what? I have to go to college. I saw my friends applying to college, and I'm like, this must be something I need to do. So a lot of times you'll be in life and in situations where you kind of have to pivot based on the people who are positive around you. I saw my friends' parents hyping them up for college, and even though I was late, I was like, maybe that's the route that I could take. Sometimes you got to be around people who doing things so you don't get stuck. Because if you stay around people who doing the same thing, they're not trying to grow, they're not trying to advance, and you in your 20s, you're going to wake up one day and be 40 and your group of friends has done the same thing. Y'all got comfortable doing the same shit. And it is never too late, which is why this conversation is important. Now, from the 20s, when I started going to college, I had no guarantee that I would be a dentist. This is a 1% or less chance of me taking this route and actually being accepted. You really have to have a mindset at a young age to be determined and focus on what you want. And I try to preach this to my nieces and nephews, like, hey, I know you think you young, you 18, 19, 20. Hey, I need you to get a plan under your belt. I don't need you to give this company that don't give a damn about you just because they gave you a job 20 years, just because they give you a little check. You know, we did a lesson the other day to calculate how much it takes the government to print now $1 billion. Because money is 75% cotton, 25% linen. And we determined that just the cotton part of the money, it takes $10,000 to print $1 billion. So you in a race to become a millionaire or billionaire, it's not going to happen going to work. It's not going to happen at a dead-end job. It has to happen when you invest. You got to do something very drastic, dramatic than what your people did who stuck in the same system. You got to invest in the real estate. You got to invest in your education. You got to invest in the skill early. And it's only one person, I can honestly say, that listens to me, and she knows who she is. When she was a teenager and I was in dental school, or maybe I was at Florida State University in my undergrad, and I told her, I said, hey, what you're doing, you don't need to do that. What you're doing is like a hobby. You could do this hobby once you solidify your career. And I told her, I said, go to school and do 2 years of dental hygiene. She did it. Now she's making $50-$60 an hour for 2 years of training. But most people won't even do that. They'll be like, no, I'm going to sit here for this job for 20 years for $15. When you could go for 2 years of your life, you ain't got to go be the dentist. If you want to be the dentist, great. We need more dentists who look like me. But if you don't want to go that long route, do the hygiene route. Do any type of trade route. And make more than what you make if somebody just hands you a job. You feel me? I need to blow my nose. And I always forget my tissue. I guess I'll be right back, guys. Excuse me. So, she was the only one who listened to me. And then now she's able to do her side hustles in addition to her main income. So all I'm saying is don't waste your youth, because when you get older, your brain don't work the same. You don't study the same. I'm going to tell you something. When I was a teenager or when I was in my 20s, going to college was like, you got to really be on point. Especially if you're doing one of the rigorous science degrees. You have to really stay on point. You can't lollygag with your friends. I had plenty of times and I was like, hey friends, I'm going to have to separate from y'all because I got a serious mission ahead of me. I can't hang out. I can't club as much. I can't party as much. I'm going to miss a lot of things, but it's going to be okay because I missed it to get to this point where you can really turn up in your 40s. Now, I ain't 40 yet. I'm going to enjoy these last 7 days. But you can really turn up in your 40s. So, 20s, I was pivoting to dental school. Not dental school. At Florida State University in an undergrad program. Just trying to figure out life. And I remember going on campus and just having this whole college experience. And of course, I'm in my hometown, which honestly, if I could go back, I probably would leave my hometown and not go to Florida State. But I did go to Florida State University, and it kind of made me who I am. And maybe it's the reason why I was able to take this path. I don't really know, but being that young college student, you just feel so alive and you just feel so cool, and you just feel like you're doing something with your life when you take your life serious in your 20s. Now, some people going to get into their 20s, and then the way society is set up now is a hustle culture. And I need the young people to fight the hustle culture because inflation is real. These tariffs are real. When is your birthday? 227. My birthday is next Friday. And I'm excited, but a little like, whoa, I'm about to be 40. It's really like surprising for real. I don't know how I got here so fast. But in your 20s, you feel a lot more mentally ready to take those hard classes, and it just prepares you for the 30s. Because I would not have been in the situation in my 30s to be graduating dental school at 30 if I had not made wise decisions when I was 18, 19, 20. These are critical years in your life. And then when you get to be 20, 21, 22, you should at least know what the hell direction you're trying to go then. And if not, you still got time to figure it out, but you don't want to be 40 when you finally say, you know what, I finally know what I want to do. You should be trying to figure this out. You should be trying to figure out your purpose until you find your purpose. Like, you should not be just chilling if you don't have your purpose in life. And your purpose is not to hustle till you dead. Your purpose is not to be a slave to your job. Your purpose is to be the owner of your destiny, to have some autonomy over your life. And that's the word that I kept hearing when I said I wanted to be a dentist. I wanted to have autonomy over my life. I wanted to have autonomy over my future. And even though it was one of the hardest careers I could have chose to do and pursue, I just had a belief that I'm going to do this shit. And it was like, girl, you came from the hood. Girl, you came from poverty. You ain't got the parents there to fucking fund you. You don't really got the family who understand what the hell you doing. All they see is you studying. They know you're going to be something, but all they see is you studying. Nobody really believe that you're going to do it until you fucking do it. Clock that T. They don't believe you're going to stick through it and do it till you do it. And I know it's a lot of teenagers who going to listen to this and be like, let me keep strolling. Let me move on and go to work. No, work is not the answer. Being an owner, entrepreneur, creating something, like just doing a different path, investing, real estate, doing a real estate license. A lot of people don't do that. That's only 75 hours. You know, I gotta go get some tissue. I'll be back, y'all. I swear I didn't fart. That was a chill. That was this chair, y'all. And if I did, you couldn't smell it anyways. My chair got too many cords, man. Y'all see my little TikTok chair? Ow, my TikTok chair be lighting up. Anywho, where was I? We were talking about your 20s, not wasting no fucking time. And, you know, pivoting when you need to. Because everything don't go right with your 20s. You be having relationships that be distracting you. You know, it's a lot that can go wrong. You can lose people. You can have some... The relationships part in the 20s is really what kind of can get you sidetracked. If you get into the wrong relationship or you get into situationships that really not... That aren't really catering to who you are or not, like helping you get to that point, it can really slow you down or pivot. And in my 20s, I feel like I had a situation that could have slowed me down, but I was just too fucking determined. Anywho, moving on from that. Now, when I got into my 20s, this is when I had a reality check, right? I had a true reality check because I had started going to Florida State. Even though I was late on applying, I still did it. I felt behind then, like, damn, I just graduated and I'm not ready to go to college. I gotta wait a semester because something happened with fam. Now I gotta go to Florida State. I don't want to go to Florida State. This is me in how old was I? 18. I got into Florida State, started college, and it was just like, okay, I'm doing something. By the time I finished college, I was tired as hell of school, and I decided to be like my friends, and I decided to go get a job with the state of Florida. Because as a teenager, you thinking, dang, I'm about to be making, I got my little Florida State degree, I'm about to be making money. I was like, I'm finna make some money. I ain't going to dental school. I ain't going to no more school. I'm tired of school. I'm sick of school. You know the feeling. Y'all know the feeling when you just get tired of damn studying. That was me. So I was like, I'm gonna go get a job. And I had a degree. This is back then. So I graduated in December. I got so many job offers with the state of Florida because I was just applying for the state. And I found a job and it paid like $35,000 a year, $36,000 a year, maybe. And I thought this was big money, y'all. I was like, oh, I'm rich, bitch. Until I got my check and they took the taxes and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I had to go get another job. So I had 2 jobs with the state. And that was miserable. So then I said, you know what? Something happened where I had the opportunity. Somebody kept begging me to study. I didn't want to study for the test to get into dental school. That was it. I was like, I got my degree. I did all these volunteer hours. My resume is pretty much complete. I have one thing stopping me from going to be a doctor, and that is this standardized test with 400 questions that's going to take me months to study for, and I didn't want to do it. I was like, I'm lazy. I don't want to do it. I'm going to go get a state job. And that's what the hell I did. Proudly got my state job, too. until I started working and feeling like I was in prison every damn day. Every day I felt like I was going to the desk at the Department of what was it? Department of Disability, doing disability exams, like approving people, doing all of the paperwork. I felt like I was in prison every fucking day, y'all. You ever had a job where you like wake up in the morning, or you wake up like, damn, I gotta go to work, or dang, it's Monday again, or whew, I'm so happy I'm off. You ever had one of those jobs where you just walk in and you just feel like you just relinquish your whole soul? That's how I felt at that job, because it was based on like cases, and you had to keep your caseload down, and I was just fucking miserable. And I think once I met that level of miserableness as an adult, being out of college, that sparked me to say, you know what, I have to study. So this is why I say it ain't no excuse for you. If you want to do something, you're going to do it. You're not going to make an excuse. Ain't nobody going to get in your way. And you ain't going to have no damn excuses. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this situation I'm dealing with. And I have to change this situation. So when that happened to me in my 20s, because I started dental school at 26. I didn't start young like the other people, because I took this break because I thought I was going to be with the state forever. I thought I was going to be a state worker. I'm not going to school. Like, I'm done with school. No. I got to the point where I was like, oh, hell no. I can't do this 30 years. I can't retire here 30 years every day feeling like I'm going to prison. No, it's not going to work for me. I'm too smart for that. I'm too intelligent for that. Even though I got a little lazy briefly, I had a real quick reality check about my life. Which is why I'm trying to tell y'all, have a reality check about your life sooner than later. Don't wait for your health to fail before you have a reality check about your life. Don't wait until everything is downhill and you can't move, you can't breathe, you can't think, and you have done nothing with your life but go to work. You didn't take no vacation, you didn't live your best life, you didn't travel. All you did was fucking go to work and pay bills. No. So if you in your 20s and you have a moment like me where I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. It might be for somebody, but it wasn't for me. What did I have to do? In my 20s, I made a decision to study after work. This is why I say it's no excuses. I had to go to work 8 to 5 and then get off and study from like 6 to 2 a.m. for 2 months. And in my weekends, I study all weekend. When I get into study mode, and if you ever been to dental school, you know what study mode is. If you ever been to a rigorous program where you have to study all day, all night, and it's just like so much material you didn't even know your brain could absorb, that's the type of level of studying you have to do when you're ready for a change. Now, translate that to you being in a situation where you don't like what's going on. What's up, Liz? You want to change your trajectory. You can't have no excuses. You got to get up every day and make it happen. So I said, you know what? I want to be away from this job so bad that I'm willing to study for 2 to 3 months and take a test. And that's what the hell I did. I studied for those 2 to 3 months, took that test, passed the test. I think I passed the test. That's what I was thinking when I took it. And then it was the process of applying to dental schools. That's a whole nother process. So it was all these things that I had to do to change the trajectory of my life to be something that I would be proud of 10, 20, 30 years from now. It didn't start now. A lot of people look at people on their journey to success, and when they reach this level of it, they like, oh, I can do that. No, but it starts all the way back here. It starts with those decisions you make as a teenager. It starts with those decisions you make in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and your 50s and it starts with every decision you make for your future is super, super important. So don't waste your damn time. So I was like, yeah, let me study. I studied, passed the test, took the test, got into dental school at 26, and this was like the best damn day of my life, y'all. When I tell you, when I was sitting at the state of Florida, baby, listen. Oh, my Lord, my friend T-Mac. She's no longer with me today, but she was there. And she was so fucking proud, man. My friend Tanitra. Dang, that brought back a memory. Dang. Rest in peace, my girl. Dang. Dang. Woo. So that day, December 1st, 2011, I was sitting at my desk with the state of Florida, and we was all on edge, and she knew that I was waiting on this call, and I was at work, like, just waiting. You go ahead. You are the best. Thank you, Liz. I love you. And I got that call. Woo! I got that call. They called me because if you don't know, the way dental school works is you apply like the year before you get in, and you have to have like letters of recommendation. You need lots of community service. You need shadow experience. You need like participation in different organisms, the pre-dental club, the this club, the that club. You need like to have good grades, a good GPA. You need a letter. You need to write a personal statement, and you need to have this test done and pass. And you have to have certain prerequisite courses that match the school you're trying to get in. So I had all this done. I applied to dental school. The first time I didn't get in, so I had to go back to the drawing board. The first year I didn't get in. I might remind you guys of that. The first year that I applied to dental school, I didn't get in. I did get an interview at University of Florida, but I didn't get in because I cried like a baby in the interview. And I already knew I wasn't going to get in because I was too intimidated around all of them white people. Let's just be honest. I was around a lot of Caucasian people, and I was the only melanated person in the room, and I got so intimidated. This was way before I realized I was a Mary Indian and indigenous and all these things. So I was just intimidated, and I cried myself out of the interview. And that lady, she called me back. I think her name was Dr. Spinetti at University of Florida. She said, "No, we want you." And I said, "Dang, do I need to take my test over?" Because I felt so embarrassed for crime. She was like, "No, we want you. You don't have to take your test over." So I was like, I ain't taking that damn test over. If UF said I don't need to take the test over, I don't need to take the test over. But she recommended that I continue to take like master's courses and apply again. So that's what I did. I started taking master's courses at the University of South Florida. See, this is why I say your journey, in order to get to what you want your life to look like, it's going to take some work. It's not going to be easy. Don't let people trick you and think, oh, it's going to be easy and you don't have to do no work. What you see up here is not what you see people go through when they're trying to get to the next level. So she said, don't take the test over, just apply again. So I was working at the state. I didn't take the test over. I was getting the state to pay for my master's courses though. So while I was working, every semester they paid for 6 classes. So I would take 6 classes every semester, like 6, 12, 18 a year. So I started the program at University of South Florida, like a master's in health science program. But I applied again. I wasn't going to wait until I finished. I applied again, and I got, this year, I got 1 interview again. Now, you got to know, as a person without the family who understands the cost involved with this, I couldn't apply to like 30 schools like most people. I couldn't apply to 50 schools. I had to pick like 4 or 5 schools and take my damn chances. So you also got that part of it. Now this year, when I applied, I got 1 interview at the Meharry Medical College. I got 1 interview at the fucking Meharry Medical College. 1 interview at the Meharry Medical College. 1 interview, y'all. I didn't have 10. I didn't have 20. I didn't have 2. I had 1 more chance after failing the first interview. So the second time, I said, dang, this Meharry, this is like a dream school. It's like a, a black school. It's an HBCU. I gotta get in here. I gotta get in here. And I remember the girl who I was studying with, she was a Caucasian girl. She didn't get in, and I think it was like her 3rd time. And she was like, dang, you think they'll accept me at Meharry? I was like, I don't know. You can apply, but I don't know. But I got an interview at Meharry in Nashville, Tennessee. I will never forget the day. I went to my interview, killed that because I wasn't playing no games. I was like, this is my future. When you thinking about your future, you can't be playing no games. The first time I went in there cried like a baby, you can't be crying. I need you to show up for real. I don't need you to show up to the party crying, sad, feeling sorry for yourself, making excuses while your life ain't going the way it's supposed to go. If you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, it's not going to go the way you want it to go. Right? So I got that interview. December 1st came around because after your interview, so you applied a year before, and then, well, you apply like January, December, you applied a year before. So you got to wait a couple months, have all your requirements in. You do your interview, and December 1st, they start telling people if they got in or not. They start telling people. It ain't the end. They'll start telling you all the way up until school starts, until they fill the class. So if you get a call on December 1st, you like, oh my, I don't have to stress for the rest of the time. I can just focus on getting in. December 1st came, baby. Listen. Ring, ring, ring. Hi, hello. Hi, this is Meharry Medical College. I forgot who called me. And I was like, holy fuck! I didn't really say that, but I was like, and they said, we would like to invite you to the class of 2016. Baby, listen. That's the day my life truly changed, and I realized when you work hard for something, can't nobody take that from you. When you work hard for something and you want something and you put your blood, sweat, tears, and you study hard and you go hard and you do the steps, you can't fail when you do it like that. You can't fail as long as you don't quit on yourself. You can't fail when they think you couldn't do it and you still showed up. That was me. When I got that call December 1st, I was like, holy fuck, I'm going to be a doctor. I went to my friend T-Mac. We cried. We went outside. The whole office was like, oh my God. We can't believe it. And I was like, I can't believe this shit. I made it to the 1%, man. I couldn't believe it. So that was my like 26, 25, 26. Got into dental school. You know, dental school, you don't have time to breathe, eat, sleep. You just study. 4 years, you just study. So I did dental school, and then I became 30. I graduated dental school at 30. Had all this sickness happen. Moved to New York. It was, my 30s was just still like, you think you get to your 30s and you feel like, oh, I did my 20s. That was a little rocky. I had to go through a lot to get to this point to even graduate as a doctor. My whole 20s was spent on that process. My whole 20s was spent on that dream. Like everything was focused on that dream. My 30s was a little different. Now I have to actually be this dentist. I have to actually go to work and show up and still continue to learn while doing that, while being sick, while adapting to life, while going through homelessness in a residency, while being sick, like while having this whole experience of living in Brooklyn, New York. Like my 30s has just been, it's just been wow. I've had jobs in Ithaca, New York, Gloversville, New York, Horsehead, New York. I've been all over New York in my 30s, and it's something that I would never imagine that I could actually do. Until you actually do it, then you be like, you know what? I did that. So just reflecting on 30 and just seeing, you know how they say, I'm living in things that I once prayed for. That's me. Living in dreams that I once prayed for. So my whole thing is, as I leave 39 behind in 7 days, it's like, I don't feel like I did everything that I wanted to do in my 30s at all. I don't feel like I'm ready to be 40. But how can you even say that? You got to be ready regardless, because it's coming like a freight train, right? So in your 30s or in your 20s, make sure, I need y'all to really make sure you're doing what makes you happy. I need you to really make sure you setting yourself up for when you do turn 40, you're not starting at zero. You're not thinking like, oh my God, I'm 40. What did I do? I need you to be thinking about that when you're 19, 20. A lot of my patients, I'm like, hey, what you going to be when you grow up? What you going to do? And if they say, I don't know, that's not a good sign. If I'm asking you this right now, even if you grown and you not where you want to be, what do you want to be when you grow up? Even if you already grew up, what do you want to be? What do you want your legacy to be? What skills do you want to hone in on that's going to make you elevate to this person that you desire to be? For me, it was a doctor. So I made every decision revolve around this process of becoming this doctor, having autonomy, and being the leader of my life. What are you going to do, don't matter what stage you are, to make the rest of your life the best of your life? Because as you get older, you got to think about the health. You must think about your finances. You got to think about, like, just mentally, how are you aging? I have a patient who works with the elderly in the nursing homes, and they always tell me, like, two different patients, don't put your people in the nursing home. And they say the nursing home is not safe for elderly people, and once you get into the nursing home, everything goes downhill really, really fast, because you're kind of like in prison almost. You're locked into these four walls, you can't leave out. And a lot of these patients end up with dementia, Alzheimer's, because they don't continue to learn. They don't continue to grow. Whenever you don't use your brain, it atrophies. Like, it literally shrinks because you're not using it. Does it make sense? If you're not reading ever, you're not learning not one new word. You stuck around the same people, watching the same shows, watching the same celebrities, strolling on Facebook all day, spending your whole life arguing, or spending your whole life in some drama. Spending your whole life like let me just slow down. You spending your whole life like partying. You know, some people spend their whole life partying. Some people spend their whole life just not serious, doing drugs, partying, thinking you're going to be young forever. Somebody said that earlier, you still young. And then I said, yeah, I'm still young. But what about them people who 40 and feel like they 80? You still young, but you don't feel young. You don't feel young. So, the whole moral of the story is to live your best life. But also, when I say live your best life, this doesn't mean waste your life. This means that sometimes you need to miss out so that you can have a better life later. When I made a decision to take 2 to 3 months to study when I was 25, 24, or maybe been 24, 23, when I made that decision that the state job wasn't going to work for me when I turned 50, and I needed to go back to school and finish the path that I started, I wasn't playing no games. I was like, no, I can't do this. I have to study. You gotta make a decision to really study. You can't keep rescheduling the test. You can't keep playing around when you get off of work. You're too tired to study. You can't keep every day you gonna study, but you never do. You can't keep doing that. You gotta actually fucking show up for yourself. Because if you don't show up for yourself, who gonna show up for you, boo? Who? I'll wait. Let me know who gonna show up. And you don't even show up for yourself. And you gonna cry to people because you're not showing up. Like, where they do that at? I'm away.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Because, yeah, it ain't happening. It ain't happening, y'all. It ain't happening. But when you show up for yourself, baby, listen. It's a flawless victory. Y'all heard that? It's a flawless victory. Ooh, Jesus, a flawless victory, boo. It's a flawless victory. You know what I'm saying? So show up for yourself every day so you can have a flawless victory in life. But if you don't, you will not have a flawless victory in life. You will actually have a miserable loss. And you will wake up like, damn, I should have made some different decisions. 40 years later, I should have made some different decisions. And some people are going to be like, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. But it ain't what it ain't. They say it is what it is, but it ain't what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Said no one. Yeah, no one is coming to save you. You got to be able to save yourself, love on yourself at any age. I don't care what age you are. The moment you wake up, like, you know what? I want to have the best for myself. I want to live a better life. I want to be healthier even. Then you got to do that. You got to stand on business about you. Now, just reflecting on my 30s, like I said, it's been a roller coaster. It's been like, I thought that I would accomplish more in my 30s, but I can't be too hard on myself. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm always going to be too hard on myself just because I don't want to be a failure in life. I don't want to, like, get to a certain spot and just be stuck. And like I was saying, my two patients, they always talk about the elderly because they work with elderly patients. And one of them says, like, he feels so bad. He gets up every day to work out and do all these things because he see these people stuck in the nursing home, still with the same drama. They stuck in the nursing home. You know the people don't take care of them like they're supposed to. They stuck in the nursing home. Their quality of life decreased. They just, they didn't set themselves up financially. They didn't invest. They just went to work, rent forever. Don't rent your life away. Don't pay rent your whole life. Don't sit and just rent, and never had a mindset to say, you know what, I'm going to go and just own me something. Like, get involved in real estate. Go be a realtor. Get involved with a skill. Do something new. Like, you have to pivot and do something new. Don't get bamboozled by this fake ass money, because cotton ain't real, y'all. I just told y'all we did the math. When we did the math now, I told y'all that cotton that they use to print money ain't that expensive. They can go and print $1 billion tonight and give it to their grandkids. Meanwhile, you got to go work 45 years and you're never going to even touch $1 million. But they're going to print $1 billion and give it to themselves. Some people are like, what are you talking about, Dr. Sean? Like I said, cotton is a future. It's the number 2 futures on the stock market. People don't even know that. Some people probably not even invested in cotton on the stock market. But yeah, it's still on the stock market because they still need to print money and export cotton. What y'all think we wearing cotton? Right? So it's 60 to 65 cents on the futures trade market, right? And we know that to make a bale of cotton, you need 500 pounds of cotton. If it's 65 cents a pound, that's about $300 to $330 for one bale of cotton. And if you need 33 bales of cotton to produce enough cotton to produce $1 billion, it only costs the government $10,000 to $11,000 to print $1 billion. Or we'll even say it cost them $20,000 with the linen. And that's over exaggerating, but it costs $20,000 for y'all to print $1 billion $100 bills. When you think about that, I don't ever want you to feel sad because of what you don't got. I don't ever want you to feel sad because of money. And I want you to feel sad if you don't go and pursue your purpose and your dream in life. I want you to feel sad if you wake up every day knowing you're supposed to do something and be better and you don't. I want you to feel sad if you know you want to go back to school and you know this is going to change your life and you don't. I want you to feel sad if you don't start that business that you've been doing for the longest and you just scared. I want you to feel sad if you let fear talk you out of your dreams and living your best life. I want you to feel sad if you give up on yourself, because you should never give up on yourself. You should never allow life to handle you like it's like you should never allow life to just put you in a bowl and mix you all around. What are you baking? What recipe are you putting together? Because if life is putting you in the bowl, you're just going to be getting mixed in the blender with no recipe. And you put it in the oven, you're going to come out with a disaster, right? But if you in your early teens, this is pivotal for you. You are at the prime of your life if you in your teens. I need you to have a focus on your dreams in your teens, right? But if that part skipped you in your 20s, I need you to really be getting this shit together. I don't need you to be putting all the bad relationship in the bowl. You putting your procrastination in the bowl. You putting your laziness in the bowl. You got a little job you putting in the bowl. You paying rent in the bowl. You got some credit card in the bowl. You ain't got no finance. You just mixing up a cake that ain't gonna taste good at all. But guess what? When you whip up a recipe nobody can deny, who gonna stop you? No one. Just like no one's coming to save you. When you rip up that recipe, nobody can deny. No one can stop you. No one can sit and pound on your dreams. Nobody can tell you what you went through to get to where you are. So I need you in your 20s to really be trying to solidify this recipe. You see, in my 20s, I didn't have the recipe, but I was trying to figure the shit out. I was like, okay, let me apply here. Let me go to school. Let me try this. Okay, that didn't work. I didn't get in that time. Let me try to go back again. Let me apply again. Let me not quit. Let me try to go to work a job. Let me see how that feels. Like you trying to experiment with life. Don't get so caught up where you just stuck at this one job, paying this bill. No. That's not what your 20s for. That's not what your 20s for. Your 20s is for you to travel, live your life, see some things, work out, try to figure out who you are, try to figure out what you like. You see me, I thought in my 20s I was going to be the state worker. But then when I got there, I was like, I don't like this shit. I got to do something else. I can't stay here forever. A lot of people get stuck in a job that they hate and they stay there forever just because they're trying to retire. You know what retirement means you're going to end up broker if you don't invest. You know, so don't stay on jobs you hate. So your 20s, make this the time where you trying to figure it out. Like, you like, I know I don't need to be at this dead-end job because Dr. Sean already told me that ain't a good idea. That ain't a good idea. Do I need to go get a trade? Or don't say, oh, I need to go get another job. That ain't a good idea. If you see from inflation now, if you see from the tariffs and this weak-ass government what they're doing, the job ain't going to save us. You have to save you and do something different. I don't know if that's, a lot of people doing compounds where they're getting into groups and they're not having it's a lot of things that we got to pivot and do now that we haven't done in the past. But in your 20s, I need you to live your best life. But I also need you to live your focused life. You got to balance the two. See, me, I can't keep talking about these things. This is bringing back me to people who aren't here with me right now, like my sister Angie B. Like, she saw me and she's even gone, and I listen, I lost two very important people last year. Very important to my sanity during this journey. And I miss them dearly. But my sister Angie B, rest her soul. I love her so much. May she rest in peace. She could tell y'all if she was here, oh, Shanteria gonna go to the club. We're gonna hit the moon. We're gonna hit top flight, but she gonna study before she go. She's going to study all day. I'm gonna study all day, girl. And if I don't feel comfortable, I can't go. So I'm gonna study hard. You gotta learn how to play hard, but also work hard. This comes when you're 20s. This comes in your 30s. You gotta learn how to play hard, but work hard. Don't be that person who don't know how to balance. A lot of people who know how to work really hard, they're gonna work hard. They never gonna have a vacation. They never gonna care about themselves. They just go to work, go to church, they just all focus on the serious shit. This is how you get old fast. I need you to work hard. Say it with me now. Work hard, play hard. Because I'm gonna work hard as hell. But when it's time to play, I'm gonna play hard as hell. Is my phone dying? Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna work hard, but play even harder if not. Because you deserve it. After you did what you're supposed to do, you buckling down, you focused. Yeah, have a lot of fun in your 20s. Like, travel. Get on the plane. Like, go to some new cities. Like, don't be just working like you 45 years old. What the fuck is you doing? But also, don't be clubbing like you just don't have a future ahead of you. So the balance is the key. In the 30s, you still experiencing life. I feel like in my 30s, it was still like an experience like that I wasn't ready for. So 40s, I don't know what the hell to expect, y'all. So if you're in your 40s, leave me some comments and let me know what to expect. A lot of people just say you still young. Like, 40s is a new 20s, so it's like I'm over exaggerating. Really, I'm doing too much when I'm turning 40. But I'm a Pisces. I'm gonna do a little too much. What's up, Wiz_Twitter? Thank you for following on Kick. So yeah, at this age or any age, just make sure we are aligning with the future. And at 39, as I get ready to leave you guys all behind and become an elder, let me stop. I'm not an elder. Let me stop lying. I'm an elder, I guess. I'm like How can I say? I'm like a 5% elder. Maybe. Y'all don't think so? That I'm a 5% elder.
Stop it.
Y'all think I'm a 5% elder?
Bruh.
Woo.
Bruh.
Am I a 5? How do I play it?
Bruh.
Why my thing ain't working, y'all? Give me that fillet fish. Give me that fish. Last price. Why it ain't? Oh man. Bruh.
Bruh.
Oh, I guess it's only 1 second. Go back, idiot.
I'm built different.
I'm built different, okay? I'm built different, boo. So yeah, this isn't our typical Hood to Hooded podcast where we, going off on colonization. I ain't going off of this time. I'm going off on the slacking that we all been guilty for. And I can say, before I turn 40, I have made a plan for my 40s. Because if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So even if you're 20, even if you're 50s, I need you to make a plan for the next year, the next 5 years, 10 years. A self-care plan, a self-love plan, a self-knowledge plan. Remember, in life you should always be learning and growing. And I give you guys this from the field of dentistry. We are lifelong learners. So I'm always going to be pushing on the Hood to Hooded podcast for us to be learning every chance you get. And I realized in the 30s, I spend a lot of time like saying no to school, no to studying, because I just came from a whole decade of studying in my 20s. When I got to be 30 and I became a dentist, all I wanted to do was work, go to work, work, work. But I realized you can't work without studying. Still, as a dentist, you still must study. So be a lifelong learner in your life where you study the things that you love. For me, it's teeth. I don't know what it is for you, but if you're not studying something in life that you love, whether that's technology, whether that's AI. With the AI right now, if you young, get into AI. Learn how to set up some AI agents or something. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. If you young, get into real estate. Learn how to be a realtor. You don't need but 75 hours. Why y'all not doing that? You don't need that much. You can go sell some houses, buy some houses, change your family life. You will spend all this time going to work, but what are you doing that can change your life? What are you doing? So 20s, 30s, and even my 40s, I'm sure it's going to be a whole nother experience, a whole nother thing where I thought that I was going to do this and this, but y'all know how life be lifing. But I'm already prepared for this next decade of life. If I am granted the opportunity to make those trips around the sun, I'm already prepared to continue pouring into my audience, pouring into the Hood to Hooded community, and most certainly pouring into myself. Um, in a way where now I'm getting more into my profession, like the specialty part of it, and just digging deeper into dentistry, implantology, um, cosmetic, all of that different stuff, but also just continuing to motivate people. I have so many things that I was supposed to accomplish in 30s, but eventually it'll get done. All right. And I ain't trying to be too hard on the family. I'm just trying to be a realist. Because I really honestly wish somebody would have told me some of this stuff when I was a young girl. I probably would have did something different. Who knows? I might not would have became a dentist. Give me that fillet fish. Give me that fish. Okay, I might not have made this route, but I did, and I don't regret it. And I'm happy to be here to change people's lives and just to give back. So, tell me how y'all feel in the chats. Tell me what you're feeling, what you're feeling, what y'all feeling. I got 2 mics on. And hopefully this helps someone like pivot in life and say, you know what, Dr. Sean, you're right. I gotta get focused because I've been bullshitting. I've been BSing. And it's time for you to focus. So this is your sign to focus. This is your sign to get it together, boo. Get it together. So these next 7 days, I'm going to grace my life and try to be more consistent in my 40s. But I'm studying hard, and I don't know. I'm just ready to be on a new level. Period. The 30s is out the window. We on a new level. Goodbye, 30s. Goodbye. I'm grown now. Even if I don't act like it all the time. You know? grown now.
I need you back. You know you're there.
Hold the fuck up. It's my birthday. Hold on, y'all. I forgot. So let me hold on, y'all. Thanks. The Niji band.
American Indian, let's begin. Not pretend, not blend, not being. Been here millions, yeah, billions old. Before your borders, papers, lies got told. Before the ships, before the chains, before they put false names on pain. We the land of bone, the seed. You can't copyright blood or creed. They try to rename us, box us in, erase the truth and profit in. But memory live in the soil deep. Every mouth still got secrets to keep. So when we rise, it's ancestral math. Every step forward, undo the past. We ain't asking, we taking it back. Say it with me, it'll need you back. Need you back, need you back, need you back.
The Niji band.
I need you back. Who still stands? Still stands. Who's left? Say it again.
The Niji band.
Who still stands? Still stands. Who's left? The need you back. You know,
All right, in honor of, leaving my 40s behind, sending love to all the Pisces out there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to play that shit the fuck up. Hey. So this video and song was made last year when I was 38, turning 39. So I'm going to be leaving this song to the world. The fuck up. Hold on. We're going to have to start it over.
yeah.
Hold on. So this song is about like celebrating your birthday, living your best life, not giving a fuck, like telling people like it's my birthday, it's my time, leave me alone, don't be with the drama. Save it for your mama. So that's this song by Dr. Sean. Shut the fuck up. It's my birthday and I need all my Pisces to turn up. Cause what? Yeah. You already know what fucking time it is. Big birthday energy. Everything new. Head to toe. You know. Shut the fuck up. It's my motherfucking birthday, bitch. Shut the fuck up. It's my birthday. Turn the fuck up. It's my birthday. Pour another cup. It's my birthday. Looking good as fuck. It's my birthday. I get that cake. Watch me. I get my way. Clock me. Get out my face. Watch me. You know I ate.
face. Watch me, you know I ate. Diamonds on my chain and my grill, get out my face. Cute as fuck, but I'm feeling trill, stay out my space. Cruising in a vert, top down, Rodale Drive. Flexing on the gram, cause I can. That do say make me come alive. Just got a bed and a cake. Blow the candles out, feeling like LeBron James. Bitch, you know I'm ballin' out. Hanging with my girls, we tight as fuck, we ain't never falling out. Spend large amounts, ghetto nails, long hair, don't care. Bitcoins, deep bank accounts. This me feeling free, let me be. It's my birthday, bitch, shut the fuck up. Don't kill my vibe with that negative shit. It's my birthday, turn the fuck up. It's my birthday, pour another cup. It's my birthday, looking good as fuck. It's my birthday, shut the fuck up. It's my birthday, turn the fuck up. It's my birthday, pour another cup. It's my birthday, looking good as fuck. It's my birthday. I get that cake. Watch me, I get my way. Clock me, get out my face. Watch me, you know I ate.
Hey, that's just a little birthday energy for my Pisces out there. Shut the fuck up, it's my birthday. Turn the fuck up, it's my birthday. So that's what mood I'm in. Shut the fuck up, it's my birthday. Ooh, Instagram. Oh, y'all ain't said shit on Instagram. Y'all ain't seeing nothing today. You ain't seeing nothing today. Yeah, so this is probably the lowest live I ever had. 0 hearts. Damn, guys. 0 hearts. You know what? Look, this is what I mean by self-love. Alright, guys. Invite Y to co-host now. Co-host, what we gonna talk about? I'm probably gonna get off of here. I just wanted to give y'all that little, positive energy about aging. It's a process that most of us don't understand. Aging, so age gracefully, and age gracefully. Aging gracefully. And I was about to go into some politics, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep it right here where it's at. About you aging gracefully and not wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? And I will be live on my birthday too. I'm probably go live like this week, cause I love like creating memories and just like reflecting on all the birthdays that passed, and I'm a memories girl. So we're gonna document this whole little time, this whole little mood, this whole little energy, this whole little do y'all think I'm really like having a midlife crisis? Not really a crisis. I don't want to really say crisis. Let me see what kind of word I'm looking up. Let me see what I'm talking about. So let's see what is midlife crisis. What is a midlife crisis? So, whoa, I'm in the midlife crisis, period. Dang, you hear this word, but you never really know exactly what it is when you're young, because you're not in your midlife yet. You hear people having that, but you don't really know what the hell that is. So let's see what a midlife crisis is, because I might be talking something that I really am not having. And I need to be careful, because words is everything. Words are spells. So what is a midlife crisis, I ask? It says, A midlife crisis is a period, usually between 35 and 55. I'm right there. When someone starts questioning their identity, purpose, achievements, aging, relationships, or direction in life. What? That's exactly what we just talked about. Preparing for your midlife and how to prevent a crisis. And I didn't even know that we was touching on that. So really, when I talked about, hey, in your 20s, make sure you preparing for your 30s and your 40s and your 30s, make sure you still kind of like getting yourself in the right direction. I ain't saying you have to be there in your 20s. And a lot of people in their 20s, they want to get married, they want to spot shit down, they want to just be there. It ain't like that. You still got a whole life ahead of you if you are blessed enough to have a whole life ahead of you, right? Because some people leave us super, super early, like my mom in her early 20s. But a midlife crisis happens after 35, and I can imagine, because it's the age where you hit 40 and you're like, what the hell have I done? And then you start evaluating your life, you start evaluating your identity, you start evaluating your achievements, the aging, everything in your life, your direction. And that's exactly where I am right now. Like, maybe I am having a midlife crisis according to this thing, and it's not really, I thought it was something drastic. It says not a medical diagnosis. Okay. It's more psychological and emotional crossroad. That makes sense, y'all. That literally makes sense. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So I am having a midlife crisis.
Oh no, this can't be.
Okay, it says it's not a medical diagnosis, but it is an emotional crossroad. Whoa. Learn something new every day. What does it feel like? Oh, this is the questions. This is what help us feel like. If you out there and you in your 35 to 55 and you feeling like this, like you questioning your identity, your relationship, your aging, your achievements, you like, what direction am I going? I actually had this exact feeling like, damn, what direction am I going? Now I took a pivot because I started back, studying, pivoting, you feel me? Learning something new to pivot to the next level, studying more, changing the trajectory, seeing what places I want to visit, just changing the trajectory, evaluating my relationships, evaluating, damn, am I eating healthy? Am I working out? I don't want to get old and like my patient says, be in a nursing home and can't move and can't move and can't move and can't walk. So appreciate your limbs while you still got them and move them bitches, because you need to move them. Okay? What it feels like when you have a midlife crisis. This is what it feels like. It feels like this. Is this all there is? Some people are like, damn, is this all there is to life? I see a lot of fear-mongering videos on YouTube that I had to stop watching. Because it's like every video is YouTube giving me these panicking videos on purpose. Because I don't want to watch videos that make people... No. There's enough stress going around without you watching videos about fucking stress. And people stressing because they, that's going to make you go deeper into a midlife crisis. Or it's going to make you feel like, I feel like even 20-year-olds are having life crisis because the economy is fucked up. They can't even afford the luxuries we had as in our 20s, like low rent, going to school. They got to worry about bills way too hard. So don't kick your kids out. Okay, that's a sidebar. But what it feels like, is this all there is? So if you feeling like, is this all there is in life? No, you just got to do some more. You got to just find your purpose and pivot. It's not all there is in life. It may feel like regret about missed opportunities. Definitely going to have some of that happen when you turn 30s. If you're not careful with your decisions in your 20s, you will have some regrets about life and feel like, damn, did I miss an opportunity? That could be with identity, purpose, achievements, relationships, aging, and your direction in life. Maybe you had an opportunity and you passed it up. See, this will go back to me making that decision to either stay with the state of Florida or going to study. And if I would have never said, you know, I have to dedicate 3-4 months to study every day and not party, don't call me, don't bother me, um, I'm out of the world right now. I'm focused on me right now. When you do that for 3-4 months and you study for a test, or you preparing yourself to get into a program or a new skill, or you focusing on your business, you starting a business, you need to be focused as hell. You don't need to be around nobody who Debbie Downer. You don't need to be around nobody who not trying to elevate, and nobody who trying to count you out of opportunities. If an opportunity come up, if you scared, take that bitch. I had an opportunity at 30 years old, which is kind of what led me to where I am now, to either stay in Nashville and do my residency in Nashville, which would have probably made it easier because I was already there. I mean, I was sick. I could have stayed in Nashville, but I made a decision because I had an opportunity to come to Brooklyn, and I was like, damn, this is not perfect. This is not the perfect setup. I might be homeless some of the time, but I'm gonna take this fucking risk. And I'm happy that I did not miss the opportunity, thinking that, dang, you came from poverty, it's not set up, you ain't gonna have, sometimes you have to sleep in the car, da 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 da. I'm happy I did not allow the fear of the things that I didn't have at that moment prevent me from making the decision to be where I am right now, because that experience to me is everything. So don't have periods where you miss the opportunity. Okay? Midlife crisis is a fear of getting older. Now, I can definitely say I have a slight fear of getting older and aging, and really that comes from like a health perspective, because you see so many people, especially in dentistry, losing their teeth, they're losing their tone, their youthfulness, they lose their energy, their happiness. Some people get stuck being mean, sad, old, and fucking mean. You know. So don't fear getting older, but this is midlife crisis. People fear getting older, and I'm kind of like trying to act like I'm not fearing getting older, but literally I'm fearing it. Literally can't hide it. Literally, like the exact definition. Literally, like. Oh, no. This can't be. That can't be. All right, what else does a midlife crisis feel like? It feels like comparing yourself to peers. You get to this age and you thinking about other people who are the same age as you, and like, dang, they doing that and I ain't dead. Don't do it. You, they, them, they made some decision that you didn't make. You made some decision that they didn't make. Y'all both have a different level of experience that you could both use to pivot at this exact moment. So don't compare yourself. Facebook, social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all these apps, they will have you comparing yourself to your peers. Now, I highly stress that you don't do that, because you don't know what people went through to get where they are, and you don't know what kind of support system they might have had that you didn't have. That's why this podcast is from hood to hooded, because a lot of us in the hood didn't have those opportunities to have this perfect setup. So you got to make some shit up for yourself, which is why it's so important that you realize that you don't need to wait till later to realize, damn, I didn't have the support and I ain't do nothing for myself. I need you to realize it early. I need you to realize it now. Don't have that fear and compare yourself to others. Hey, I hope y'all can hear me on TikTok. I don't know if you can hear me or not. My phone keeps fucking ringing. Maybe y'all can. I don't know. No one's tapping art. So I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. But anywho, it feels like comparing yourself to your peers. A sudden urge to change everything. I know I had this urge like, dang, I gotta start studying more. I gotta start. This is me right now this week. I'm like, I gotta go hard. I gotta pivot. Like, and I need to really calm the hell down, because literally I'm in a midlife crisis and I need to stop. All right. What else is it? It's a restlessness or dissatisfaction. If you can't sleep, you dissatisfied with life. You just like, you thinking too hard, boo. You thinking too hard. It's a hyper focus on appearance or youth. This is a midlife crisis when you can't even say, you know what, I'm this age. Listen, y'all, I'm 39. I'm 39. I'm not 29 and I'm not 19. So if you trying to hyper focus on your appearance and the youth, then this is a midlife crisis. But at the same time, you really have to focus on your youthfulness and your health, right? Another thing that having a midlife crisis feels like is big impulsive decisions. Quitting your job or buying something drastic or, just super drastic shit that you're doing. You like, you know what? I wasted this time. Let me just do something drastic. Don't do that. That's a midlife crisis. Some people feel mild discomfort. Others feel full identity earthquake. So to my young folks out there, I don't want you to wake up in your 30s and have an earthquake appear in your life because you didn't prepare for it. Even now, I'm taking heed to all the people who are older than me and all their stress is, hey, Social Security ain't gonna be nothing, so make sure you invest. I see a lot of older people didn't invest. I see a lot of older people just played around and they get to the point where it turns into a full life identity crisis, and you want to avoid that as young as possible. It's never too late to start investing, but at some point it might actually be too late. Maybe it ain't ever too late. I'm gonna ask that question. Is it ever too late? I don't think it's ever too late, but the earlier the better, right? Teaching our kids financial literacy, investing, real estate, all these different things are only going to help us. Passing down wealth is only going to help us. You don't want to just get to life where you having this big ass identity crisis. Thank you for following, Juanita. Right?
Don't worry, buddy. You're doing fine.
You're doing fine, buddy. Don't tell him again, Patrick. Tell him again. Don't worry, buddy. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. But at the same time, I need you to be focused. Okay, but right now,
don't worry, buddy. You're doing fine.
You're doing fine. I'm paying $5,000 to the first 5 people to inbox me happy day. That sound like you trolling to me, Fred. Now, why you on here lying? Because you know you ain't paying no $5,000 to the 5 people who inbox you that. Nah. Cut it out. Do not inbox him, y'all. Fred around here. Fred, what? It ain't that easy, y'all. See? Fred, you giving people high hopes. See? Bruh. Bruh! Bruh, what is you talking about, bruh?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Bruh. Not $5,000 just because they inbox you, bruh. I know you lying, bro. Do not inbox this guy.
Time is money, Fred. What's up? Yo, talk to me.
What are you talking about, bruh? Bruh, if y'all do that, guess what?
Got it.
He got you. All right. Moving on. Now, why does this happen? Why do we go through these midlife? Fred, you really tickle me with that one. Why do we go through these midlife crises? It happens when your career really hits a plateau or you get burnt out. Now, in dentistry, we deal with burnout a lot, which is why and you know what I'm thinking in my 30s, I made a lot of pivotal entrepreneur decisions. I learned a lot about entrepreneurship, business. I failed a little bit in entrepreneurship, just like I'm learning. That was my like fucking up in business stage. Now I'm trying to get this together because, I'm trying to build a legacy. So this is where your career will either plateau when you hit 35. Remember, I said if you start working a job that isn't a career or you don't invest in yourself, you'll get to the point where you'll hit a plateau where that $20 you start, I ain't gonna even say 20, that $15 an hour you started with is not enough. That setting it, if they penny pinch you, oh, I'm getting $1 raise now. Oh, I'm getting 50 cents now. Really? Really? Stop playing with yourself. I need you to make drastic leaps. I went from 15, now I'm doing something that get me $20 an hour. Now I'm doing something that get me $30 an hour. Now I'm doing something that get me $50 an hour, $100 an hour. There is no limit to the money you can make per hour. Unless you say, hire me and I will sit